The cafe was nearly empty that rainy afternoon, but her voice, soft, embarrassed, and trembling cut through the quiet like a fragile plea. "Can we share your fries, sir?" Ethan Blake looked up, startled. The woman standing before him wore a faded blue sweater and had worry etched deep in her eyes. Beside her, a little boy clutched a cracked toy car, his big brown eyes fixated on the golden fries on Ethan's plate. And just like that, a story that neither of them ever expected began to unfold. You see, Ethan wasn't just any customer grabbing a quiet lunch. He was the Ethan Blake, the hidden billionaire who owned half the real estate in the city, the tech giant who rarely appeared in public. He was the man everyone saw in newspapers but no one recognized in person. But on this day, he was just a tired soul, escaping the endless drone of boardrooms and lawyers. The absolute last thing he expected was for someone to ask him to share his fries, especially a stranger whose hands were trembling with a mix of pride and desperation. Her name was Lena, and she didn't ask out of shamelessness. She asked because she was completely out of options. Her wallet held only enough for the cheapest coffee on the menu. She hated asking. She hated needing help. But when Noah whispered, "Mommy, I'm really hungry," she swallowed every ounce of her pride. And there she was, standing in front of a billionaire she had mistaken for just a quiet, gentle-looking man reading a book. Ethan blinked once. Then a warm, unexpected smile spread across his face. "Of course," he said. "Actually, why don't you both join me?" A flicker of panic rose in Lena's eyes. She didn't want to seem greedy or impose. "Oh no, sir. We don't want to bother you," she started to say, but Ethan cut her off softly. "You're not," he insisted. At first, they sat stiffly, like guests afraid to break something valuable. But Ethan had a warm way of speaking, quiet, unhurried, and genuinely attentive. Before long, Noah was excitedly telling him all about school, and Lena was apologizing for the 100th time for bothering him. "I'm glad you asked." Then he gently pushed the menu toward her. "Order whatever you want." She froze. "No, we can't. We don't have the money," she stammered. "My treat," he said simply. But Ethan replied with a softness she never expected. "Maybe I needed to." She sensed a deep loneliness in him, a loneliness that felt even heavier than her own exhaustion. "Mr. Blake, I didn't know you were coming today." Lena's fork froze in midair. Ethan let out a quiet sigh. So much for a normal day. The owner continued fussing. "It's fine, Henry," Ethan said gently. But Lena's cheeks were burning. She remembered the articles, the interviews, the rumors. The man she had just asked to share fries with was worth more money than she could ever possibly comprehend. "Lena," he said firmly, but kindly. The rain had softened to a drizzle, and the city lights shimmered on the wet pavement. "Noah is a bright kid," Ethan said gently. "And you're a strong mother. You just need a hand." But Ethan surprised her yet again. I'm opening a new office downtown, he said. I need someone trustworthy at the front desk. Steady hours, good salary, and full benefits. The job is yours, if you want it. It's not because you wanted something for yourself, but because your child needed you. That tells me everything I need to know. She hid her face with her hands as tears fell freely. Are you sure? She asked, her voice trembling.
Absolutely.
Just then, Noah tugged on Ethan's sleeve. Sir, can we eat fries again sometime? Ethan laughed softly. If your mom allows it. Lena looked at him, the rain catching in her eyelashes like tiny diamonds. Thank you, she whispered. Not for the job, not for the food, for seeing us. Ethan's chest tightened. Thank you, he replied, for knocking on my table. I didn't realize how much I needed the company today. Months passed. Lena thrived in her new role. Noah grew happier and healthier. And Ethan became a quiet but steady presence in their lives, someone who checked in, encouraged, and listened. He didn't rescue them. He simply gave them a chance. And in return, they filled a void in his life he had never even admitted existed. One afternoon, as they shared fries, again this time by choice, not by desperation, Lena looked at Ethan and said, You know, that day I asked to share your fries. I thought it was the most embarrassing moment of my life. Ethan smiled warmly. It was one of the best moments of mine. Because sometimes the smallest, most vulnerable question can open the door to the biggest, most beautiful change. Thanks for watching.